What's up, everybody? Joe White here, rolling through Michigan today. And we got to talk about Uncle Dave. That's what we like to call him, Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave. I know that's the worst Trump impression ever. By the way, have you seen the video of Dr. Dre with the black guy doing the Trump impression? That's pretty fucking funny right there, man. He's like, Dr. Dre, he's a real doctor. I'd go see him. That's funny shit. Go look up like just Dr. Dre Trump impression. I think it's on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you kids are using nowadays. Anyway, Uncle Dave. We got to talk about Uncle Dave. And Uncle Dave and Bryan Alvarez are having another lover's quarrel. This time, once again, it's about Tony Khan's booking. I swear to God, I am of the firm opinion that Bryan Alvarez is so ready. He cannot wait for Dave Meltzer to either retire or die. One of the two. Which I don't think Meltzer's going to give this up until his brain finally turns to, well, it's already mush, but until his brain disintegrates. Anyway. So they're arguing about this women's tag title tournament. You know, AEW's got to add another belt to their gajillion belts that they already have. Pardon me. So they're adding women's tag titles because as if the women don't do enough already around there with Mercedes Moné and her 12 belts of doom that mean nothing. But what's she gonna do next? She's gonna go and get she's gonna go get indie belt number 45 from maybe the whatever wrestling federation. I say wrestling because that's how they actually spell it down south. WRASSLIN, wrestling. Gonna go to the wrestling matches. Anyway, it's wrestling, not wrestling. Anyway. So Tony Khan announced that they're doing these brackets for this title, this tournament. And I want to say the brackets were actually released Saturday is when they leaked out. If they hadn't officially announced them, they leaked out Saturday. But in storyline on the pay-per-view, they're still putting teams together for the brackets or for the tournament. So how can Tony Khan do brackets for something that doesn't have any teams? That's Alvarez's argument. And it's a valid argument. Meltzer's argument is, oh, he announced it, that he was going to have the brackets, and he had the brackets. So that's not false advertising. That's not bad booking. It's they gave us, unlike WWE, Bryan, unlike WWE, where they give us stuff and then advertise it and then don't deliver. The AEW, at least they advertised the brackets and they gave us the brackets. So there you go. It's okay. Listen to this clip here, and I'll let you decide who is right in this situation and who is wrong in this situation. Again, Uncle Dave's brain is turning to mush. He's absolutely losing his squash. He's dropping his basket. Is that guy exiting? Yes, thank you. Anyway, sorry guys. I am hands-free, so anybody who says, oh, you're recording on your phone while driving, no, I'm using the microphone on my Bluetooth headset. But anyway, let's listen to this clip, and you guys can decide for yourselves.
Then we had Sky Blue and Julia Hart against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, Willow and Harley Cameron, and Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. At this point, they had not announced the brackets for the tournament. In storyline, they didn't even have brackets yet because we were still getting teams throughout the show getting put together. So I don't know what brackets Tony had that he'd promised this weekend in storyline.
Well, he had them. He said they were going to announce the brackets, and they did.
Dave, you don't understand. He said Saturday he had the brackets, But
No, he
on
said
this show, teams were still getting put together.
No, he said
so. When
Saturday,
this show started, he didn't have brackets.
He said Saturday he was going to announce the brackets.
I know, but he didn't have them when the show started because
No,
throughout the show, teams were being put together.
He announced them before the end of the show. He just said he would announce the brackets on the show.
So in storyline, he was hoping that teams would get together during the show.
And by the end of the show, he had brackets just as he advertised. That's a silly criticism.
No, Dave, this is not a silly criticism.
Yes,
they were putting teams together as the show went on. This is something Ava would do. I'm going to have brackets on Tuesday. Hopefully some teams get together during the show so I can put them in.
He said that they would have brackets on the show.
Yeah, that means as a promoter, he's already got his brackets done. He's just going to announce them.
He never said that. He never said that. He said he would have the brackets announced on the show. If he had the brackets, why didn't he announce them on Sunday or on Saturday?
Because he's a promoter. He wants people to watch Dynamite.
Okay, well then
tune into Dynamite. I'm going to give you these brackets I've made.
And he did.
Instead, he had a blank bracket, apparently. And luckily...
He did a story during the show. The storyline was that he had a match put together where the winners of the match, which is this match that we're talking about, would get to pick their first round opponent, and then he would fill in the brackets after that. Because that was announced. I don't know what day they announced that, but I think it was yesterday. So obviously he wasn't going to have the brackets at the beginning of the show because they were having a match to determine one of the first round matches. Then, so he couldn't have the brackets done.
So who was going to be in this tournament if Athena hadn't shown up out of the blue?
He could have
hour and 45 minutes into the show to tell Mercedes, "I want to be your partner."
He could have had who knows what. That doesn't matter. He had when he announced the brackets, they were a team.
So, Alvarez pretty much calls the booking shoddy. Dave Meltzer goes, "Oh, it's not an excuse. It's a good excuse. It's a good excuse." Golly, man. He just will not come out and say it. He will not come out and say that what Tony Khan is doing is wrong. He will not badmouth Tony Khan in any way, shape, or form. He just can't do it. Why? Because he's losing his access if he does it. He loses those free pay-per-views that he gets the link sent to him. For those who don't know, and this is probably spilling the beans for a lot of people, if you have the right link, because they're unlisted, if you have the right link on a pay-per-view Sunday, you can watch AEW pay-per-views on YouTube for free. AEW puts up what they call a content feed of their pay-per-views on YouTube. They broadcast them live on YouTube so that they have a backup of them. That's their backup server, folks. Maybe it's their backup of a backup. I don't know. But, that's how Dave gets them. Dave Meltzer does not pay for these pay-per-views. He probably pays for WWE's, or he's doing the whole, because he's so scared of technology, and he's such an old fart that he doesn't want to learn nothing. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So he probably's got, Bryan, can you help me with the pay-per-view, Bryan? So Bryan has probably had to show Dave how to use a VPN so he can watch it on Netflix instead of ordering ESPN. But let us not forget, people, that these quote-unquote journalists, these quote-unquote wrestling journalists, like a Dave Meltzer and a Bryan Alvarez and Mike Johnson, which Mike Johnson's admitted to it, so is Dave Scher over there at PW Insider. The guys at PW Insider are okay. They're good guys. They're pretty transparent about their stuff. They have to open up, they have to open up their own companies. They file 1099s because there's no big-time corporation out there. So if you can prove to the government, every time Meltzer has to buy a new computer, it's a tax write-off. Every time Meltzer's cable bill is a tax write-off. His phone, there was a time back in the day before WWE started doing the network thing. Actually, he even might still do it. I think he was doing it during the network days. He would sit there and watch Raw on his cable, And then he would record it off of a satellite dish feed that he had. He had like DirecTV in another part of the house that he would record it on in case the cable went out. And during the WWE Network days, I don't know if he does this now, he would actually buy the pay-per-view, spend the $39.99 or $59.99, whatever they were charging back in those days, and he would still watch it on the WWE Network in case his internet went out. Because we all know Dave Meltzer has very shitty internet. He's always losing his internet connection, even though he lives in a very, very prominent, I want to say, he lives near San Francisco. It's a major secondary market in the U.S. He lives in San Jose, which is like right near San Francisco, just across the bridge. They have stable internet out there. So why Dave Meltzer's constantly having these internet issues, I'll never know. But my point is, to all this is, it's all a tax write-off. It's all a tax write-off. Anytime he pays for anything, his cell phone is a tax write-off. His cell phone bill is a tax write-off because he can use it to do his job. Whether or not he knows how, that's the government doesn't care. The fact that he can, that's all the government cares about. Anytime he buys a ticket to a wrestling show, that's a tax write-off. So essentially, he's getting into all this shit for free. Very rarely does he ever have to pay out of pocket. So, that's what I'm saying. Meltzer just kisses Tony Khan's ass so he could keep getting the free pay-per-views. That's all it is to it. I know I went off on a spiel there about Meltzer's business practices, but I didn't know if anybody, realized that this guy's getting his entire, shit handed to him. He's not paying for this. Don't let this man fool you. Don't let any of them fool you. None of them. John Pollock, Brandon Thurston, anybody, if you file a 1099 at the end of the year and you can, you make money out of this, you're getting it for free. It's a tax write-off. I can tell you that there used to be a time where as a truck driver I could write stuff off. They stopped that now, and now it's only for owner-operators. If you own your own truck and operate under your own, if you file a 1099, you can write everything off from your clothes to your haircut to your cell phone bill. If you could get, in the trucking industry, the thing is if you could get news and weather on it and traffic on it, you can write it off. Hell, I'm not ashamed to say it. When I bought my PlayStation 4 back in the day, I wrote that son of a bitch off because I was leasing a truck at the time. I could get news, weather, and traffic on the PlayStation through the internet browser. Therefore, I could write it off. A lot of gray areas with our government. A lot of gray. Anyway, we'll see you down the road.
Imagine if we were all just a figment of Tony Khan's imagination.